Close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds. Suicide is a global phenomenon and occurs throughout the lifespan. There are indications that for every adult who died by suicide, there may have been more than 20 others making the attempt. Today we speak with JhorDan Sykes, who once felt, "I just can't take it anymore." And just before he was going to commit suicide, he not only changed his mind, but he changed his mindset. This is JhorDan's story.
So growing up in elementary, middle, and high school, I wasn't the most social individual. I did have friends, but I kept to myself, and I was very alone on the inside, and that sort of developed until I got to college, where I started to branch out more, but I still felt on the inside that I was alone, and I was scared, and I was afraid, and I wasn't able to fully be my true self, and I didn't understand why. And I just felt that sometimes, I hated myself. Other people hated me. People who were close in my life hated me, and I just felt that I wasn't able to get away from that. I felt sad all the time. I felt frustrated with myself because I wasn't doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing. And there were 2 separate occasions where I couldn't take it anymore. And, in college, it's a time to find yourself, and it's a time to be your true self. And I felt that I wasn't able to do that in college. It was hard for me because how can you tell somebody, or how can you explain to somebody who, are close in your life, that you're going through something that they probably don't even know how to help you out with? And it was hard. It was hard because I felt that people would judge me. I felt that people would not be able to really and truly help me the way that I thought that I needed. It didn't take until me finally going to a therapist, and it didn't take me until talking about my issues and my problems and what I felt on the inside, until I actually felt more comfortable with myself, and I actually felt more at ease with the issues and the problems that I was going through, and that I was able to be more open and honest, and that I was able to talk about it, because I was so afraid to talk before. But now, with the help of therapy, with the help of friends and family, I was able to open myself up, and I was able to have a conversation that in the beginning I never thought I was going to be able to have. And I'm so incredibly thankful for my friends and my family for understanding what I'm going through and what I'm currently going through. And I'm so incredibly thankful to those in my life who know that not every single day is going to be rainbows and happiness all the time. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. But if you're willing to stand by that person throughout thick and thin, and you're willing to stand behind that person when they're backed into a corner, or where they feel they're backed into a corner, that's really one of the more special things you could have asked for me personally.
And so, was it something specifically that happened? Or?
It was, the one moment where it did happen was I was probably a junior in college, and I was struggling a lot, going through my internship and going through schoolwork, and I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I just felt sad and alone and frustrated and angry at myself because all of my other friends knew what they wanted to do, and all my friends were so ahead of me that I felt that I was lagging behind, and I didn't know what else to do. And it took me with a handful of aspirin to realize that this is not the way for me to go. And it took it took a lot for me to actually put it back and look at myself in the mirror. And I broke down and I told myself I need to get help. And the next day I had a conversation with my parents and I told them what I was going through. And I told them everything, not the aspirin part, but I told them what I was feeling and how I was frustrated. And they were so open and understanding. And I got a therapist, I got help. I was able to talk to more people and I was able to be more open. And I'm so incredibly thankful because it wasn't like they judged me. It was the fact that they treated me like their child and they didn't, attack me. And they didn't feel like it was anybody's fault or they didn't put blame. They just said, how can we help you and how can we make you a better individual? I was afraid that I was going to be rejected. Yeah, I was afraid that I was going to be rejected by not only my family, but my peers as well. I was afraid that nobody was going to be able to truly help me and that I was all alone and by myself. And I just felt alone. And I felt that nobody's going to be able to understand what I'm going through. It didn't take until that moment with aspirin where I was like, all right, you need to suck it up and you need to man up and you need to be open and honest about your issues and your problems, because there's no way that you're going to ever be able to fix it until you're open and honest about your problems. Any way that you can. If you can talk to a friend that's close, family members, if you have to go to a therapist, call someone, find a way to get help. The first step to getting help is admitting that you need help, and the first step to getting full help is to talking to someone, whether that's friend, family, anybody who you deem close, who you know won't judge you and won't attack you. Anybody that you can find, and just be open and honest with that person and let them know, hey, I'm struggling through something. I want to talk to you about something. Can we just have a conversation? And that one small step can lead into getting more professional help, figuring out a way to solve your problems in a more healthy and retroactive way. Really trying to branch out more and be more open, because when you're struggling, you feel closed off and you feel like you don't want to talk to anybody and you just want to be inside of yourself. And, when you have that small conversation, that's a stepping stone. That's a stepping stone to opening up more, and that's a stepping stone to become healthier, and that's a stepping stone to learn how to cope with your problems and learn how to be healthier and better. And at the end of the day, that's really what you want to do. You want to be able to not have to deal with this sort of pain that you're feeling on the inside. So I've been in therapy for the last 2 years, and it's helped so much because it's allowed me to sort of have a conversation with somebody who's not biased, and there's nothing wrong with having conversations with your family or your friends, but they know who you are as an individual. And sometimes they'll kind of sugarcoat it or cookie cut it in order to make you feel better, and that's not always healthy. There are sometimes where you need that unbiased opinion, and you need somebody who just is going to give it to you straight and tell you like it is and tell you what you need to hear. And that's one of the things that I'm so incredibly thankful for, is that I do have that unbiased opinion, where, I do have my family members who will give me an unbiased opinion, but it does help when you have somebody who does not know you, to really give you sort of insight. I'm doing better. It's still a day-by-day process where, there are some days where I'm up, there are some days where I'm down, but it's a everyday sort of solving process where you really got to work every single day to, put your best foot forward and move forward with everything that you're going through, and know that it's not an overnight fix. That's the main thing for me, is knowing that's not going to be an overnight fix. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of going back and forth with yourself and really saying, all right, I understand that I have this issue. I understand I have this problem, but how can I move forward for today? How can I progress for today? How can I be a better version of myself in a way? And that's what I try to do every day. Is I wake up and I tell myself, how can I be better, or what can I do from the previous day in order to improve? And it's a constant sort of improvement.
According to the National Institute of Health, suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. If you are in a crisis, call the toll-free National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This service is available to anyone who calls. All calls are confidential. Sources and statistics are provided by the World Health Organization and the National Institute of Mental Health.
My name is JhorDan Sykes, and I matter.
If you would like to share your story, go to www.simonewalker.com and send an email of interest. Want to see more You Matter stories? Make sure you subscribe, click on the notification bell, and don't forget to leave a comment.
You matter.